if I could still be focusing on the what I should be doing and what I could be doing and what I want to be doing, slowly we get better at moving beyond the things that I don't want to be doing.
Okay, let's make it real. Let's think of like what are the classic bad habits that people with ADHD have?
Tired of ADHD overwhelm? Let's make life so much better with ADHD. I'm Nachi Felt.
And I'm Dovid Becker. We get it. We've been there, and we love to talk about it. We're on fire, and this is ADHD on Fire. So I have a question for you.
Hit me.
What's the difference between a habit and a routine?
Oh, I love it. Great question. Routine is something that kind of is almost in a way external to us. It's like what needs to happen every day, and habit is something that's internal that we just do. Now, sometimes you'll have a crossover where you'll habitually do a certain routine or you routinely do a certain habit. But at its core, one of them is external, right? Routine is external. I need to take my kids to the bus every single morning at 7, whatever. So that's a routine. And then I go pray right after that. So that's a routine. And then I eat breakfast right after that because it's already in the place that I'm praying. So that's right after that's a routine. It's not my habit. I'll prove it to you. On Shabbos or Sunday when I don't have to take them to the bus, I don't wake up at 7. Nor do I go to that place to do whatever I would do. And I don't end up eating till like 10:30, 11:30 in the morning.
Okay.
Does that make
So
sense?
would it be fair to say that you can use routines to build habits?
Yes.
So you have to break the bad habits and then form good habits?
Yeah, or even start by trying to build good habits on top of the bad habits. Like that's also fine. Like for instance, right? Let's say someone's struggling with they never get anywhere on time. So I think the whole like trying to break the habit of coming late is not going to happen. Take it from me. I'm still a recovering late addict. So I'm always coming late to things, but I'm still trying to develop a habit of coming or setting an alarm a few minutes earlier than when I was supposed to be there. Until I end up tricking myself and knowing that it's a trick. So then I just push off that time because I know it's 7 minutes earlier than it always is. But the point is that, yes, like if I could still be focusing on the what I should be doing and what I could be doing and what I want to be doing, slowly we get better at moving beyond the things that I don't want to be doing.
Okay, let's make it real. Let's think of like what are the classic bad habits that people with ADHD have. So
I'm in bed way later than we should, but we spoke about that last time.
Good. So let's pick a different one. Being on time.
Being on time. All right, that one's a really good one. That's a really, really good one. So here, we'll talk about, let's say, me trying to get on time to my appointments. Awkward confessions, right? So for me, I struggle getting even to my own office on time for helping people with their ADHD and executive functioning. So when that was like super embarrassing, like my father-in-law, who's the rabbi of a synagogue, and he used to come late to prayers until someone said, "We're all waiting for you. You're the rabbi. You should be here early." And so that kind of shocked the system, and
That's crazy. That urgent.
Like 33 years. Yeah, but until then, yeah, it was very hard for him to get there on time. So I'm kind of back there where he was, right? Kind of struggling to get there on time. So what I found helpful for me is that going back to
wait. Is it a habit? Meaning you're habitually late? There's a habit involved?
I think so. I'll tell you why. You had this great line, right? The lies we tell ourselves. And one of the lies I used to tell myself, yes, I know it's an Ari line. Mm-hmm. One of the lies I used to tell myself was that all I need is 3 minutes to get there because I'm 3 minutes away from my office. But you and I both know, although you may not be able to relate to this because you live in New Jersey, the land of tons of space and parking. I live in Queens, New York, the land of very little space and almost no parking. And so for me, even if I got there within 3 minutes, but now I end up taking like a precious 45 seconds scanning or going around the block to grab parking, and then that throws off everything. right? Because not only was it 45 seconds for the parking, but then there's 20 seconds to walk from, or sometimes longer, sometimes even a minute, a full minute, minute and a half, 2 minutes to walk from wherever I did find parking to my office. Then I have to punch in the code while balancing, holding my bag and my coffee and my water bottle. And then like the bag of food that I'm grabbing because I didn't yet eat breakfast. So like I'm having all that stuff, trying to balance that, punching the code, forgetting the code, being like, wait. The person I rented this from 3 years ago texted it to me. Let me find, what's her name? So like all of that happening is just the clock is ticking, right? Then when I get in there, I still have to unload all my stuff, right? Put away everything, kind of at least dump it on a chair, set up my computer, get ready to like start actually seeing the person, and then my computer needs to load. So again, that's like a precious 2.5 minutes that I didn't like calculate. And so that habitual like not counting those, like the unseen time, the blind time really, really could cost me. And right, and then I have to start the session going, all right, so I owe you 2.5 minutes. And then like for the rest of the day, I'm behind 3 minutes on every single patient.
Well, I can't say I relate to this concept. No, I'm kidding. But I'm just wondering. So really, this has a little bit to do with a habit that built up over years, right? You're not leaving any time for things to go bump, right? Like maybe in theory it could work if all the conditions that need to be met, like all the worlds
Like
align and
there's,
everything.
yeah, a parking spot right in front of my thing. I'm not holding
Right.
too many stuff, or the code was already done magically, or I forgot to do it the night before. And so the door is just wide open. Yes, that could be awesome.
And the worst is laptop updates.
Yeah.
Like it will be 83 minutes of updates, and then you can use your computer again. But so there is an element, I think, in this of habit forming over years and time blindness, meaning an inability to predict how long things will take. That's the
Yeah,
classic,
but let's be honest, we all know that there's time. It takes time to go down to your car, right? Open the door, put in your stuff, turn on your car, pull out of the driveway. Like that's all time.
Okay, I hear
Like,
you.
you should
So
know that
this is a
you've
good
been doing
question.
that your whole life since you started driving.
So with time blindness, right? Um, do we say that, oh, Dr. Felt is time blind, therefore he can't measure how long it will take him to get to work, therefore he thinks that it will be 3 minutes when it will be 20 minutes, right? That would be option one. Or we could say, okay, that is ridiculous. Like he's been doing it for months and months and months and months. He has to know by now that he needs to put 15 minutes. Like, how could he be missing that? You can get away with, I can't predict time the first time or the second time or the third time, but after a few months, shouldn't he have at least intellectually learned that 15 minutes is needed? So what happened? So what's the answer to that?
So
Because
the answer is that I finally swallowed the bitter pill of truth and accepted that it doesn't take me 3 minutes to get to work. It takes me 7. On average, if I'm really lucky, I could get it in 5. So now for me, the time I give myself, right, I've now allotted for myself 5 to 7 minutes. And so now I don't run out of the house when there's only 3 minutes left. I run out when there's 5 to 7 minutes left.
so wait, so is this problem solved? Or are we
Yeah,
talking
I've
about
gotten a lot better. And now I'm only
okay?
like 1 minute or 2 minutes late, never like 7 or 10. It's just like, thank God, only 1 or 2. Which again, I would like to up my stats, but hey, that's pretty good. That's a solid habit change.
Let me say then that what I'm hearing is, I just, because this is fascinating for me. Like we always go back to, ADHD is an explanation, not an excuse. Okay, great, yay. We also know about this idea of time blindness, that it's hard to measure time or to predict time. So, but what you're saying is that using time blindness not as an excuse but as an explanation only goes so far, right? It goes so far as like the first time, the second time, the third time. But now
Even the seventh time, like, come on, with ADHD, like, this is going to happen
good.
way
We're
more
past time blindness now, which means that the issue is no longer that you can't measure time, because the issue is that in the moment you're still not leaving enough time. And this we're saying is habit, because you developed a habit that you're going to wait until 3 minutes before it's time to go. Now, even though in your mind you adjusted from 3 minutes to 7 minutes, so when you made that adjustment, that's when you came out of you brought in some time awareness, right? So you went from time blindness to time awareness, and you said, okay, I'm stopping to tell myself a lie that it takes me 3 minutes because I really know it's 7 minutes. So then you still give yourself 7 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Which is fascinating. I had this with just yesterday because I had to go out for Ma'ariv, the evening prayer, and I asked my wife, "What time is it?" And she's like, "Well, it's whatever it was. It was in 13 minutes." She's like, "But why are you waiting till the last minute to go? Like, you're not actually doing anything now. What would happen if you went a few minutes early?"
I wouldn't know what to do with myself. I've done that. I've actually shown up to prayers 3 minutes early. I didn't know what to do with myself. I sat there awkwardly, bugged out of my mind, walked out, got a coffee, came in blessedly 3 minutes late. Such a relief. Oh my God, I felt so much more comfortable. I was like, this is the dysfunction I'm more familiar with.
Good, you're ahead of me because I stopped and I was like, that's an interesting question. Why do I always wait till the last minute? Why don't I ever go a few minutes early? And I guess maybe you answered it for me. I just intuitively understood that I can't go early. I have to go like at the last minute.
Yeah, because of the four C's, right? Because that's crisis, right? And it like makes it so much more stimulating to come rushing in to wherever we have to be. Because if I had just strolled in, that's just boring. What? I'm actually
Good.
on time? Like, what do we do with ourselves? We don't know how to live.
So the first thing that Dr. Felt is saying here today about habits is that eventually, at some point, you can stop as it pertains to coming late. We have to get into other examples because it's not going to be enough. But eventually, you need to stop telling yourself the lie about how much time it actually takes you to get to the place that you want to get to. So that's number one: is adjusting, and you have to remember that adjustment, right? Because I could easily see falling right back into 3 minutes. So you have to remember that you adjusted to 7 minutes. So that's step one. Step one is stop the lies, be honest and clear-eyed about how much time this is going to take. But step two is really about changing the habit. Now, how do you do that when you were so used to 3 minutes to change it to 7 minutes?
I wanted to add though that part of step one of like kind of like embracing the truth is also leaning into the pain of that truth. It is going to be less stimulating to come on time. It is going to be kind of like a letdown, and like I have to let go of all the things I think I could have crammed in with the 6 minutes left before I was supposed to go. Right. And especially during like stress, like the stress diathesis model, where when we're under stress, we revert back to our default programming. So like when I'm stressed out, I will go back to the 3 minutes. It just happens. But at its core, what's really going on is embracing or at least accepting the pain and the cost of the truth. In this case, the cost of truth is that it's not nearly as stimulating. I do have to leave it a little bit earlier. I kind of had to pull myself off the couch, but like earlier than I would have preferred to. Like, it means I have to kind of lean into the pain and discomfort of like having to organically push myself on artificially push myself on my own, rather than allowing for the organic default of like, 3 minutes, gotta go, right? And like a whirlwind rushing out of the thing, right? So like, in a way, it's kind of taking responsibility for ourselves and accepting the discomfort that comes with taking back our life, taking control of our life away from the stimulation seeking. Does that make sense? Right? Because as long as I'm sitting on the couch doing nothing and just watching the clock go, then like I'm not responsible for myself. I know as soon as I see it's 3 minutes, I'll jump up and rush out. That's just what's going to happen. That's just the
But you
stimulation.
might be doing something interesting or stimulating, meaning you might have to break out of hyperfocus.
Which is uncomfortable. Yeah. And especially if it's not external. Remember, routines are more external, right? So like certain like routine, you're supposed to do it. It just kind of comes on you, right? But a habit is internal. So it was my routine to go rushing out 3 minutes before. That was definitely part of my routine as well. The habit there was that I was allowing myself to wait until the external stimulus pushed me. Does that make sense, right? If we're looking through the lens of habit versus routine was more external. It kind of happened upon me. And my habit was that I kind of didn't take responsibility, or I wasn't holding myself accountable to myself, right? So like that idea of like accountable acceptance that we were talking about at the very, very beginning of our podcast, like part of the A's. So that first thing of acceptance is accepting that I do have to take responsibility for my own life and for kind of adjusting how I talk to myself, how I live with myself, the lies that I tell myself, the truths that I'm okay with, kind of tolerating, and the discomfort that comes with it. Like that's on me. And that accountability that comes with that acceptance, or that the acceptance allows me to embrace, is the first step of changing a habit.
Okay. Let's go to step 2.
All right. So now that I've accepted on myself that, all right, ready? Like I'm ready to kind of embrace the cost of the truth, the cost of like giving up the pleasure and convenience of the lies that we tell ourselves. So now I could start moving into the accountability part, which is, okay, so now what could I do about it? What could I do?
Good, because I want to sharpen it. I want to sharpen it because to me, it sounds too simple. Like it was almost too easy. Like the story of Dr. Felt, for many years, he came late to work. And then one day he said, okay, I am no longer coming late to work. And then for many years, he came on time to work. To me, like, I feel like if this was me, which maybe it is.
It is you.
Maybe
you
it
are
is.
you.
So I feel like what more likely to happen would be, okay, I'm stopping to tell myself a lie. Why? Probably because of a negative experience. Like probably I'll come late and then just feel icky about myself that like, I'm supposed to be helping people with executive function. I can't get my own act together. I'm a terrible model coming late to session when, the whole point is how to be on time. Like that's really bad. And then that would become like crisis. That would become urgent. And then like, okay, now let me reevaluate. Let me break out of the lie. Stop telling myself lies. It's not 3 minutes. It's 7 minutes. And I would for the next couple of days or a couple of weeks go back. Stop running out last minute. Run out 7 minutes and be on time and be very proud of myself. And then at some point, I probably forget the whole thing. And be right back to where I started, running out at the last second. So that's what I'm curious about. I'm curious about sustainable change.
Great question. I think before we do sustainable change, we have to talk about what got me there, which is conditioning.
Right. I went to step 3. So let's go to step 2 and then step 3.
Conditioning is that critical piece in between. So a great book for this that really I think has a lot of helpful nuggets. Again, it's not built for ADHD, but we could still steal from it. Is Atomic Habits. Really, really great book. There's also James Clear has like a lot of great stuff. Unless he's the guy who wrote Atomic Habits. No, there's Charles Duhigg and then James Clear.
Atomic Habits.
Very good. James Clear's Atomic Habits.
So
great book. Not necessarily.
I probably read the first 20 pages.
And what was your feedback?
There's not even a tissue in it. I don't know. I think someone said Atomic Habits is a great book. And so I quickly bought the book. Promptly forgot I bought it, but then it came the next day, and then I started reading it, and then I forgot it exists and put it on my bookshelf. It probably sat in my book pile for a while till it went to the bookshelf. Once it's on the bookshelf, it's vanished to oblivion.
Yeah, mine's here. Mine has a tissue in it.
What page?
Oh, good question. Oh wow, 29. Page 29. That's really
classic.
And but I have bookmarks here at page 196. So look, see, I actually have a bookmark.
So page 29 talks about, it says, habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Getting 1% better every day counts for a lot in the long run.
That's a great step. I'm on page 195. It's how to stick with good habits every day.
Oh, so this is exactly right. So if we get this right in the next 15 minutes, then no one has to buy the book or read the book.
True. Yeah, we'll save them. Save all the ADHD people from having to buy the book and then tell themselves again the lies they tell themselves that they will read it and then get up to page 20. So what I thought was interesting about the book, again, a lot of great stuff, not so ADHD friendly. My book will fix that. Is that his cool thing is that you break down to tiny pieces, right? Like you were saying, the 1% and this and that. For me, I don't know. Like I think that's a great thing for neurotypicals because that works. Like it is compounded, but for us, we forget and then it's over and it's gone, and all that compounded interest is gone, 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 gone. It has to make enough of a difference in our life that we feel it, that we're stimulated by it, that we're self-induced to continue the investment of our energy.
Can
1%
I
is
just say
not.
something?
Yeah.
I don't want to get us off track, but I think this is important. Um, on the cover of this book, it says over 4 million copies sold. So what does that tell me? That tells me that building good habits and breaking bad habits is something that everyone struggles with. Because if you sell 4 million copies of a book, that means that the whole America basically is dealing with this issue. And I just want to say that the issues that everyone's struggling with are nightmares for people with ADHD, right? Like if this is something that the real world, everybody out there is suffering, it compounds. So I feel like if someone with ADHD could even manage to get through this book, which clearly neither of us could.
I got to
um,
196. I'm proud of that one. There, 190. Sorry, 194.
okay, if you don't count the appendix, then there's 253 pages in the book. So that's solid. That's solid. But yeah, this is really, really hard stuff, which means that whatever's in here, we have to build it for us because it probably won't work.
Correct.
It'll probably just make you feel bad about yourself.
I did.
Like I went and read the book that the whole America read, and it didn't even help me. And not only that, I didn't get past page 20.
Yeah, I did the 2 push-ups a day thing, and then like after one weekend, like totally forgot to go back to it the next week, and then that was it. It was gone. So
And
much for his
also,
incremental, whatever the heck that is. So after the session, I was like thinking about what we said about this idea of like slow and steady and like small steps from like the people like BJ Fogg and Atomic Habits and stuff. And I was saying that like with push-ups and things like that, I would start doing the like 2 push-ups a day. Then the weekend would come. I'd wake up nice and late, enjoying my weekend, and then bam, the next week would start. I have no idea. I would totally forget about doing the 2 push-ups thing. But at the end of the day is really, I want to concede to something that they write, which is that making habits stick could also work for ADHD. It's just a little bit trickier for us because we do forget, right? So in a way, we do need to keep reminding ourselves of like, let's say the 2 push-ups a day. And we may even need to incentivize ourselves to do the 2 push-ups a day. And the incentives don't have to be crazy, like buying yourself a new car, right? It could be ice cream, or if you're trying to be healthy and that's why you're exercising. So then it could even be the sweetness of the success itself. But the idea here really is figuring out a way to make it convenient and consistent. If you can, right? The idea of keeping it convenient and consistent is that if we don't have it like be a seamless, frictionless experience, we're just not gonna. We get like meh. Like I can't be bothered, right? So for instance, like this week I decided I wanted to get back into working out. And it was, I don't know, I was just like I was at a bar mitzvah, everyone looked fabulous, and I'm like, I gotta lose weight. This is crazy. So I'm like, you know what? Every Saturday night, I sit down and plan my week. So when I sat down last night, I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to plan it out. I'm going to do push-ups. And so I even was super smart, right? I made my alarm in the morning and I gave the label push-ups. Then I woke up and I set the alarm like for 7:30. I think it was 7:27. And I had to be somewhere at 7:30. I think like that's where I have to be. So like I jump out of bed and I use the crisis excitement of, 3 minutes, all right, whip myself together, mouthwash, brush my teeth, throw on clothing, like everything all at once, and boom, I'm out of there. And then I'm like, oh yeah, push-ups, right? Meaning, in a way, we kind of need to plan this out to make it a little bit more convenient for us. So I guess I should have done is woken up like 4 minutes earlier, right? Just to be able to do the push-ups so that then I could kind of get it out of the way and move on. But it's more than that. I think BJ Fogg talks about keystone habits where you like connect the new thing you want to do by anchoring it in an old thing that you always do anyways. So for instance, I always wake up, right? All of us wake up, I hope, right? If we're not, then it's a bigger problem. But connecting, let's say doing the 2 push-ups to my wake up, that could be something that's more consistent. But again, because of ADHD, we forget and we'll go like 2 push-ups every day until the weekend and then it's over. It's important to keep in mind this idea of reminding ourselves and incentivizing ourselves to keep it up and to maybe up the ante in terms of like stimulation, that like I want to go from 2 to 3, 3 to 4, right? 5 push-ups a day, then 6 push-ups a day. At some point, the idea is we need to keep stimulating ourselves. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. But at the same time, there is a tremendous benefit to having something just be convenient and rote. And that if we could make it convenient, it could work. So what I'm basically saying is 2 opposite ends. I guess we could call this dialectical, right? Which is we want to try to be convenient and consistent, but at the same time, stimulating for ourselves, right? And keep it like growing and new and fresh. So to whatever degree we can manage that balance will allow us to be more successful in whatever it is that we're trying to do.
I do not want to rain on your parade, but I have, like, this is just me. I have some books that have tissues at page 196. That's because I opened it to page 196. So if you read 196 pages of this book, I congratulate you.
Looks like I did it. I remember also finding like all of his typos. And it's just like such an ADHD thing. Like I won't read your book, but I'll find your typos. Yeah, I still remember where it was actually. It was on one of his. Yeah, here. Oh, I shouldn't show it to everyone, right? It's just so awkward.
No, we will get sued.
Penguin.co. Like, come on, guys. Random House Publishing. You guys should be a little bit on top of your game. Unless he wants it to say make it attractive. Maybe. He's smarter than me. He probably meant it on purpose, no?
I always try to make things attractive.
Yeah, I don't know. So ADHD, right? I'll read your book and I'll not remember anything except the fact that I found the typo.
And now you will get us sued, and we're probably done.
Well,
this is our farewell episode, everybody. The last episode before the lawsuit.
So getting back to what we were saying, which is about conditioning, right? So for ADHD, what we need in order to make a habit stick is conditioning. So he would call that, the 1% incremental whatever, and that's awesome. I'm so happy.
Teeny habits, teeny steps.
Yeah, BJ Fogg. I also have his book.
But you didn't do teeny steps. It doesn't sound like it. You went from 3 to 7. You didn't go to 3.
I went all in. For me, at least, right, with my
I feel like teeny steps aren't going to work for ADHD because
they're not stimulating.
You're not going to sustain it.
Exactly. Yes, 1,000%. That's why we go big or go home. Well, we do both. We go big and then we forget and go home.
But now I'm really confused because there's also something that I found very, very helpful for so many people is the concept of all or something versus all or nothing, which I think is also from Ari.
I like that.
But I think it applies here because also a lot of the problem is that you live in an all or nothing world. And so then if you didn't fix it, then you go back. You snap back to zero, to ground zero. So, okay. So what's step 2? How do you do it?
All right. So step 2 is the conditioning, right? So conditioning is, I think we spoke about this in a previous podcast, which is we got to do the setup right. You need to set ourselves up for success, right? So that means I had to
pre-winning.
Exactly. Pre-winning. So I had alarms. I had everything already in my bag, right? So like here, for instance, my son just asked me on Friday, Daddy, why do you have 2 of these? I said, well, one of them's supposed to be in my bag and one of them's supposed to be here by my desk. Meaning everything's already preset. So I have like 2 sets of AirPods. Is
that an AirPod case?
Yeah, with AirPods in it, I think. Let me check.
My wife called me this morning. My wife called me this morning and she said, by the way, did you lose your AirPods? Because one of the neighbors called that they found it in our driveway, a case. So I'm like, yeah, that's me. So she's like, so what are you using? So I'm like, one of my backup pairs.
Right.
I moved on. It was like 300 years ago. I'm like, okay, fine, that one's dead. Let's keep going.
Right.
And of course, like embarrassing, the neighbor calls, so it's like a whole thing. Like, Mrs. Neighbor, like, did your husband leave his AirPods case? And there's all the judgment in it. I'm like, I own 4 sets of AirPods. It's fine. It's good.
Right.
Move on.
Pre-winning, baby. We're all about pre-winning.
Yeah. Buy
So
lots of AirPods.
the idea is
AirPods are the dumbest thing. Like the most easy to lose ADHD item in the world is AirPods. Like they make no sense. They should come with glue and they should just stay in, and that's it.
Right. Don't worry. I'm sure Neuralink or something like that will be a little more friendly for the neurodiversity.
Okay, that's our second lawsuit. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. So you were
So I have my bag hanging by the ramp, like what's that thing called at the bottom of the steps? That little thingy where like the
veranda.
Banner. Is that what it's called? Veranda,
no
right?
idea.
Where the banner goes, like it curves.
The thing, right? The banner thing.
In a little design.
Yeah. The banister.
The banister. The bottom of the banister.
Our parents always have banisters.
Right.
And Frigidairs and Kleenex.
And they Xerox things. So the point is that I leave my bag there, right? This way, when I am ready to leave, I don't have to do this mad dash looking for random stuff and throwing them in my bag. It's all there. So I kind of set myself up. When the alarm goes off, right? I don't have a snooze button. There's no like, it's a minute before I'm supposed to go. It's exactly 7 minutes. I got to go. I usually try to unplug my car in advance if I remember. That sometimes happens, sometimes doesn't.
Ooh. Do you drive away with the plug-in? What happens? It blows up?
Word. No, it won't. It won't go. But then I have to because it says unplug. So then I have to get out of the car and lose valuable, precious time to unplug it, roll it up onto the thing, and put the charging cable back.
That's very smart, though. Like, imagine if not. Everyone with ADHD would just blow up their houses.
Yeah.
The wire goes, shower of sparks, and boom, another ADHD house is gone.
Right. And today's news, we have 3 more explosions in Springfield.
Yeah.
So the idea is setting ourselves up for success, right? It's just having everything ready to go. You're
pre-winning,
ready to go, pre-winning. You have the alarm set up for this new thing. It was as soon as I had this idea that this is just ridiculous that I'm coming so late and being a very poor advertisement for my services, right? So bam, that was it. I set the alarm right then and there. I again tried to strategically set that alarm for a time that would be good. So 7 minutes, right, gave me a little bit of leeway, but at the same time, sometimes it actually does take 7 minutes, so I'd have to do that. And in a way, right, once everything's now set up, it was easier for me to just get up and go, right? The idea is to reduce the friction. If I could reduce the friction between my current situation and the new habit or behavior I'd like to do, that makes it infinitely easier. Does that make sense? I think Huberman Lab, right, calls this reducing limbic friction or something like that.
Who lab?
Huberman. He has a podcast about scientific stuff.
Okay, cool.
Either way, he calls it limbic friction. I just call it friction because limbic just makes me sound smarter than I really am. And so the idea is to reduce the friction. That's all. Does that make sense?
Okay.
It's taking the atomic habits thing and just breaking it down to, I guess, less than its atom. It's ADHD atom, and kind of pre-winning, setting ourselves up for success so that, bam, we could be out of here. Now, the follow-up, right? I think you were on to step 3, but I want to add a follow-up, is self-celebration. I'll give myself a little dopamine squirt after and be like, yeah, I got out. Or look at me, I'm leaving on time, or I'm leaving early. The idea is to kind of reward the neural change in my own internal habit to give that reward, right? So this comes back from that research on habits, right? So there's the response, right? I think it's 3 R's, right? Response, reward, reaction, reward, or something like that, right? No, reminder. I think it's reminder, reaction, reward, where you have the thing that gives you the cue for what you're supposed to be doing. Then you have the thing that you actually do, and then you get the dopa hit, right? Or whatever reward they're supposed to be. So for us, I have that.
You're going to get to your office and say, yes, I'm on time.
1,000%, right? And I do this nice little flex, and I feel awesome about myself.
Right.
Yeah, whatever it is to get my body a little bit of a dopamine hit that yeah, I did it.
Yeah. Love that. So I think what I'm hearing from you is this. Tell me if that's right. This is what's his name? think Rahm Emanuel became famous for this one in the Obama administration. He used to say, "Never let a good crisis go to waste."
One of my favorite quotes.
Oh, okay. Never let a good crisis go to waste. So let's apply it to ADHD. What we understand about ADHD in the fourth C is crisis or urgency unlocks the ADHD brain. So what you did, this is what I'm hearing from you, is that when you got that crisis, when you got to that point where you felt like, okay, this has to change, like this is a disaster, like it became urgent for you to change, you leveraged it. You said, okay, number one, I got to stop telling myself the lies that I tell myself about how much time it actually takes to get to work. Okay. Time blind or no time blind, I really get it at this point in 7 minutes. So I need 7 minutes. And number two is I'm going to get into action right now, meaning I'm not going to theoretically say like, okay, I got to change this. I'm just going to change it now. So on the spot, you set the alarm. So now you have the alarm, and then you did the pre-winning of like I'm gonna incorporate things to make this easier. Meaning I'm gonna minimize the chance of failure. How am I minimizing the chance of failure? By taking away some of the derailments that can happen. Meaning, really, 7 minutes should allow for some space, but you're really going the extra mile. You're saying not only am I going to add to the time, but I'm also a pre-win. So it's less likely that something will go boom on the way, like my power cable from the car, right? You're minimizing the chance of an explosion, which is great. And that brings me, I think, to I'm sorry, and you're also building in the reward, which is the flex, the flex to this, that feeling good about being on time. And now comes my third thing, which is sustainability. And I suspect that sustainability, the chapter on sustainability probably starts on page 199 in the book Atomic Habits, which means that we don't have the James Clear model, even though 4 million Americans do.
It just says sold. It doesn't say read. It says 4 million people picked this somewhere like, I want better habits. And yeah, that could be that they also got only up to page 20, just like us.
Good. So that means that we're on our own here. So how do you sustain it? Because it sounds like really, really nice and wonderful until you have to do it like for a few months in a row.
Been there, done that. I've been doing it for a few months in a row.
Okay. How?
I think that when you have all of this set up where it's easy, it's set up for you, it's convenient, and you're constantly self-celebrating, and you're feeling good about yourself, and you're getting that feedback that like, hey, this is cool. I'm on time. I'm there. I'm ready. I even had time to use the restroom. Like that was crazy. And like that's I don't know. It kind of started feeling good that it became a
routine.
Yes, exactly. Remember, I was saying that sometimes you use habits to develop routines and routines to develop habits. They're interchangeable.
So once it becomes a routine, now it's earlier. Now it's easier. I'm sorry.
Now
it's easier.
My old 3 minutes is now the new 5 to 7 minutes.
How long would you say it took till it became routine?
42 days.
That's interesting. I thought it was always 47 days. But,
no, I don't know. I just they say about research it goes anywhere between. BJ Fogg says it's anywhere between like 13 days and 96 or something.
21
like that.
days, yeah.
I don't
but
know.
For you, so after a while, so now you feel like it's routine.
Yeah, that's my routine. It's basically like that, except for Friday mornings.
Okay, should we do bonus content?
Yeah.
Okay, bonus content, and for this episode, we've broken habits, we've gotten everyone into a great plan, great shape, but here's a question for you: what do you do when you get a minor derailment of a routine?
Then obviously you have a hissy fit tantrum, and then spend the rest of the day fetching about how you had this minor derailment that really threw off your whole day.
How does that get you back on track? Because what I see is Let me frame out the question, because I'm thinking something that is a struggle for some people, such as myself. So I see that you can get yourself into routine and get yourself into shape, but then something happens, right? Like something happens that throws you off. Maybe it's hard to think of a good example for this one. I don't know. You have a couple of days where you're really, really, really running late, and I find that it's easy to just fall back into the old pattern. Like once something happens, like and that's really goes back to all or nothing versus all or something. It's almost like a good diet. Like, so you'll be on the diet for a while, and then you'll have like a holiday, and like just lose it and never make it back on, right? So how does that? How that's my bonus content. So this is really step 4. How do you work through the dips, the natural dips? Because even you, when I asked you earlier, you said, yeah. I've gotten better. It's not perfect. So that means that tells me that still once in a while, maybe you do not keep to the 7-minute thingy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So the answer is to that one is goes back to like the easy solution that I don't know if I've ever spelled out, so I'm happy to spell it out now. Easy solution is just the E is for empathy for yourself. That like, listen, this stuff happens. This is us. It's part of it. It's part of my whole acceptance chill, right? But like, it's adding in that layer of empathy for ourselves. That like, yeah, this kind of it's annoying and it's sad, and we feel like normally we go back to the whole beating ourselves up and that we're a loser, and then of course you never
Okay.
want to get back on the bandwagon because it's just reminding yourself of how much of a
Keep
loser
yourself right.
you are.
So empathy keeps you feeling good.
Or prevents the bad, which
The
entrenches and
spiral.
concretizes, you being a failure. So that's the first step is empathy for yourself and your situation, right? Listen, we've got right that the next thing is zooming out, right? Easy, right? So the Z is the zoom out, right? Zooming out, you're smiling, right?
I'm smiling because when you said easy solution, I thought of like, wow, that's a great name for a glasses cleaner. You know, like the little spray they give you in the
I think
glasses
that
store.
is the name for the in the glass
That
cleaner.
I just want to say that people with ADHD, that spray, like you you'll find it 4 years later in the most random place, and you'll be like, "Oh, there's the glasses spray that they gave me in the store."
Right. Yeah. And
It's
then
like, you know, in the back of
you
your car, how many of those little bags with the toothbrush and the free toothpaste little thing from
yeah,
the dentist
right.
that never made it into your house because it's out of sight, out of mind, right?
Bam,
Gone.
gone.
Yeah.
So the Z is for zooming out, right? It's to kind of zoom out and just see the big picture, right? So like oftentimes when you zoom out, you're able to be like, all right, yeah, holiday's over. Wow, I feel gross and disgusting. I have eaten like things that like more calories than I've had the whole year. And like, okay, right? And zooming out allows us to kind of see the bigger picture, which is, yeah, but this is what happens. Like holidays are just that. They just are a train wreck
Normalized.
or yeah.
Empathize,
So
normalize.
but part of that, right, is not only the empathy that you're kind of allowing yourself to sneak into that or, kind of, bleed into your zooming out, but it's also looking forward, right? The zoom out allows you to not only see the past, but to see the present and the future, which is that, all right, so that means this is tough and it's going to be hard. Where and how could I move on? Like, how could I make this better? What can I do? When we zoom out, it's really not all that hard, right? Because you can see like the big picture. You take like 1.5 seconds, especially with ADHD, our minds work so fast. 1.5 seconds, and you're just like, all right, zoom out. How could I get back on? I think maybe I could either start with, I don't know, if you want to go, I don't know, these guys' way, you could say, I'm going to do no soda at night because a tiny incremental thing. Or you could go like our style, right? Which is all in. I'm going back in. Hooah, Navy SEAL. I'm all in, right? Like, get yourself that stimulation, get yourself in there. You tell everyone that you're going to do it. So now you're going to be hopefully socially shamed into doing it. Or you'll have your very sweet coworker the next day say, so how's your new diet? And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, right. Yeah, I told you. Right. Oh, yeah, yesterday I told you that. Right. Today. It starts today. So could I have your ham sandwich? It's like the point is that when you zoom out, you're able to kind of not only see the past and the present and like, listen, this is just crazy. This is just how it is. This is ADHD. This is my life. But like, and I could get back on. I could do hard things. Yes, this is hard and I could do hard things. And then the idea is the solution, right? So it's easy, solution. Solution, okay, so what's the next physical action I could do? What do I need to do to get this started? If
How
is
do I
it
get
to
back?
tell all of my like, is it tell my wife to tell all of my coworkers? Is it to set up a new alarm? Is it to clear out my stash of candy and chocolate and holiday chocolate from my office desk? Like, what do I need to do to get this party started?
Good. Okay. Here we go. I'm doing the summary. So you have this habit. You want to break it. We want to build a routine for a good new habit. So
Let's stick with
step
the getting
one
on
is
time to work.
step one is the acceptance, the empathy, uh, you know, motivation to change, right?
And accepting the pain of the
right,
cost of the truth.
accepting the cost, right, and moving out of the lies we tell ourselves. That's
Like,
in step one. Step 2 is leveraging the moment, leveraging the crisis, and turning it into action, like a quick pivot to action while you have the motivation there. Take the
Utilizing
steps
the 4 C's to whatever degree you can. If you could challenge yourself, get super competitive with yourself, which is the same thing as a challenge, right? Or if you could be creative, right? Or generate the crisis, it doesn't matter, whatever works.
And make sure to pre-win, like set the conditions, set the alarm, do that in the moment when you have it, when you're motivated. That's step 2. Step 3 is sustain it through the positive reward of flex or just
Smile, even just smile to yourself, releases dopamine.
make sure you notice
Does
that good things
stuff.
are happening, so that you build you build it into a routine, and then it gets easier.
And
And then
that's
step
the
4,
reward. One second, that was the reward of the 3 R's of a habit, like the habit loop, right? Which is reminder, right? This is what I want to be doing. So you have the alarm, or you have like a post-it note or something. You have response, which is you do it, and then reward, right? Because if you think about a bad habit, like biting your nails, is you notice your nails are uneven, right? That's the reminder. So then you bite them, right? So that's the response, and then the reward is now my nails are better, right? So like that's the classic habit loop. So here we're just kind of reverse engineering that, and you're using it for your own good, for good habits.
awesome. And then step 4 is the bonus content. That's how to sustain. It's how to deal with slips and slides, and that's using the easy solutions model, which involves empathy, zooming out, and finding the solution that's going to get you back in, and that sends you back to the beginning. And then so we
Easy
just saved
solution
everyone.
is amazing. It's just it's a great thing for almost any and every challenge in our life, is that empathy for ourselves and our situation, right? This is going to happen to us a lot. It's just welcome to ADHD. This is our life, right? And then the Z is the zooming out. Like that's the part that we often like kind of are not that great at. You know, the time blindness, the not seeing things, not taking context, like that's just, we're not so amazing at it. So we have to kind of artificially crank our own engine to do that ourselves, right? By zooming out. And then the solution is, how can I get this started? Just practical next physical action, NPA. What can I do to move myself forward?
Then we saved everyone $20 because you don't have to buy the book. And exchange, please subscribe or share or whatever. I never understand what I'm supposed to be doing at the end of a podcast, but do all those things if you understand it, so that we can grow our audience base or something. Whatever. Thank you for listening. Nachi, have a great week.
It's going to be awesome. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.